So Erudíomh agus tá fáilte over fad. You're very welcome. This week is Seachtain na Gaeilge, and it's Manaman Gaeilge. Tá mé an rán le Gaeilge. I love the Irish language. I think it's the language of the Druids, it's the language of the High Kings, it's the language of the Tuatha Dé Danann, it's the language of everything wonderful and magical and mystical about Ireland. Ní féidir liom, well, it's féidir liom, but it would be a bit reductive, I think is the word, to tell a story in Irish, because most of my listeners wouldn't understand, and that is it's true sin, that's a pity. But I was watching a debate yesterday on Twitter about who speaks it, how people can speak it, who wants to speak it, agus gacrod mar sin, all that kind of thing. So I was thinking about that, and I've put together this little story, and I hope you enjoy it. So this story is all about a man called Tom. Tom had a small patch of bog in the west of Ireland, County Kerry, I suppose, and he found out that he got a contract working on a ship for 5 years. Now, he had 2 nephews, Jim and Joe, and he divided up the bog equally between them. He gave them a moil, which is a measure that fits into your hand, a moil each of grain oats. And he said, these are the best oats in Ireland. I'll give you 2 moils of these, the piece of bog, and I'll see you in 5 years to see how you get on. So Jim started away. He just dug up his piece of bog, set the moil of oats, and while Joe was thinking, if these seeds are so special, if they're really good seeds, I shouldn't just throw them out in the bog. I mean, the bog isn't good enough at all. So what he did was he put the seeds up in a press, and he started to think. And he said, I need good land for this, and to rent good land, I need some money. And I can make baskets. So he took a year making baskets, selling the baskets, saving the money, and he was able to rent a field off a farmer, a good field of land. So that was fine. Back to Jim, he saved his oats, he winnowed it, blew all off the chaff. He had a nice little bag of grain. He was able to buy some seed potatoes for the year after. And when spring came, he set more ground with the oats, and he planted potatoes where he had the oats sat before. Meanwhile, Joe now was looking at the good field of land he rented, and he said, it still isn't good enough. These seeds are very important. They're the best seeds in Ireland. So he started drawing seaweeds up, got dung in and everything, and had it all set out. And another year went by. And he was looking and he was watching the ground, and he said, this has to be dug really deep. I have to really get rid of all the old grass and bits like that. So he started digging about 4 feet down. So that took him another year by the time he had the whole field rotavated up and the good earth up on top. Meanwhile, Jim asked Joe, could he take the other part of the bog, because he was setting more oats now with the oats he'd got, and he was setting potatoes from the crop of potatoes, and he moved that along. So next thing, before they knew it, word came back that Tom was on his way home, and he was wanting to see how they were getting on. So Joe said, oh my God, this is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I better set the oats. So he went up into the press, and he brought down the little bag he had the oats in. Some of them were mouldy. The mice had got at others, probably a rat or 2 as well. But basically, there were no really oat seeds there. He'd kept them too long. Whereas Jim had been plodding away, working away, setting it and getting a little bit more. And he had a nice little patch of ground and a good store of oats now at the end of it. And I think that is the way with Irish as well. Whatever little bit of Irish you have, if you only know Céad Míle Fáilte, and Céad is 100. So if something is $100, you say, oh, Céad dollars. If you know Tá Fáilte Rót, you're welcome. Tá Fáilte Rót, you're welcome inside. Build it up little bit, word by word. Just like Jim, throw it down there. If you make a mistake, that's grand. It's that idea of not to be too precious about it. And if you meet somebody who's a bit of a chron sonnéir, a bit snobby about the whole thing, it's them that's killing the language, not you. You're trying it and keep going. and just pick up, use whatever language you have, any bit of Irish you have, on Gealteacht Gaeilge, the little bit, and keep working on that. And I'm going to leave you now via ag déanamh Cardlin, Puppet. I was doing a workshop, puppet workshop with children, and we got a lot of little stories together, so I've just picked one.
One to this brella bit. Fun and shop. Son. Cane shoppa, shoppa patty. This brallam and pata shit. Tosh talked a while a lumsa. Should it an arrogant. Son. August should it the bruntiness. Oh, mommy, girl, mahaka. Ta falter out.
Grev Mahaka ver fad. Thank you ever so much, and we'll see you next week, and I'll be talking about this big, powerful project that I'm doing at the moment. Slán Anish.